No, we can do it right here. We're Sentimental Journeys right here in Ramona. We've got Rob Llewellyn here on bass. We got Jeff Folk on guitar, and my name is Scotty. You guys might know me. We're going to play some tunes that I'm sure you'll be able to recognize, but some little different stuff. And we got some exciting new stuff to show you too.
You might never set it down.
Harry Nilsson.
Harry Nilsson? Who's talking? Everybody's talking. Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear what they're saying. Only the echoes of my mind. People stop and stare. I can't see their faces. Only the shadows of their eyes. I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. I'm going where the weather suits my clothes. Banking off of the northeast wind, sailing on the summer breeze, skipping over the ocean like a stone. The sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. Going where the weather suits my clothes. Banking off of the northeast wind, sailing on the summer breeze, skipping over the ocean like a stone. Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear words they're saying. Only the echoes of my mind. And I won't let you leave my love behind. And I won't let you leave.
An old Woody Guthrie song.
Oh, Woody Guthrie.
1940.
Woody
American
Guthrie.
Man,
Come on. American Landman right there.
Sing with us, everybody.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking a ribbon of a highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me a golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. The sun comes shining as I was strolling, raw wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds roiling. The dust was lifting, a voice came chanting. This land was made for you and me.
Everybody sing now.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me.
Hi, Purple Bird.
You were singing, right? Oh, I'm singing along. Okay, good.
What's up,
I thought that was
Jackson Brown.
Oh my God.
good.
I'm good. Disregard that last note.
That gremlin left those funky notes in your guitar the last time you loaned it out. You gotta quit loaning it out.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the tears and the slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand. And I have done all that I could to see the evil and the good without crying. Most you must help me if you can. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what is wrong. I'm unwise to leave them open for so long. Cause I have wandered through this world, and each moment has unfurled. We'll be waiting for the waking from these dreams. And people go just where they will, and I never notice them until I got this feeling that it's later than it seems. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what you see. I hear them cry to say that it's too late for me.
let's play Love Potion #9. Deborah Llewellyn out there will lead the audience and sing.
Yeah, Love Potion for Deborah, huh? Where's she?
I took my troubles down to Baton Rouge. You know that gypsy with that gold tattoo. She's got a pad down at 39. The little bottles of the Love Potion #9. I told her that I've been a flop with chicks. It's been some years now, maybe 5 or 6. She looked up my palm and she made a magic sign. Said what you need is just
Love Potion #9. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She said, I'm gonna make it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine, it looked like Indian ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes.
I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything inside. What when I kissed the car down at 34th and Vine? She broke my little bottle of Love Potion #9. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything inside. But when I kissed the cop down at 34th and Vine, she broke my little bottle of Love Potion #9. Love Potion #9. Love Potion #9.
Love Potion for Deborah. There she is right there. Love Potion #9.
The Drifters back in 1960.
That's right. You're just writing your notes now. Real good. You know what? Always, I would start with a bus joke for sure. It's a.
I know, we gotta figure that out tonight.
I think
Yeah, I was saying, starting with a bus joke.
This magic moment, so different and so new, was like any others. Until I kissed you, and then it happened. And it took me by surprise. I knew that you felt it too. By the look in your eyes, sweeter than a wine,
Sweeter than a wine.
softer than a summer
Softer than a
night.
summer's night.
Everything I want, I have. Whenever I hold you tight, this magic moment, while your lips are close to mine, will last forever. Forever till the end of time. Whoa. Sweeter than a wine,
Sweeter than a wine.
softer than a summer
Softer
night.
than a summer's night.
Everything I want, I have. Whenever I hold you tight, this magic moment, while your
Three Dog Night.
How about Los Bravos?
Freebird.
Inagata de Vida. Anybody remember a band called Spirit? Ed remembers.
Randy, California. It's nature's way of telling you something's wrong. It's nature's way of telling you in a song. It's nature's way of receiving you. It's nature's way of retrieving you. It's nature's way of telling you something's wrong. It's nature's way of telling you summer breeze. Nature's way of telling you dying trees. Nature's way of receiving you. It's nature's way of retrieving you. It's nature's way of telling you something's wrong. It's nature's way, it's nature's way. It's nature's way, it's nature's way. Nature's way of telling you something's wrong. Nature's way of telling you in a song. Nature's way of receiving you. Nature's way of retrieving you. It's nature's way of telling you something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Hey, Nature's Way by Spirit. Put that together just for you guys.
That sounded amazing. Amazing. Yeah. So my husband just came back from walking through the vendor booths with some amazing smelling soaps, some olive oil. What else? A few other, a water moisture measuring device from right over here. So just check it all out. There's some incredible things available there at the vendor booths. I see more of you arriving. If you go down to Sustainable Ramona, there's a kid activity that you can do. We've talked about, there's a weaving demo and a yarn spinning demo over at Barrel Station. So check them out. And thank you, Sentimental Journeys. So next, Dr. Dan Cahan, one of our 2 keynote speakers, and just an incredible human being in general, is going to be looking into our future and talking about Ramona's 21st century future. Warmer, drier, and occasionally wetter. I've really been looking forward to this talk and the next one by George Tynan. These are our two keynote speakers, and I just want to tell you all, these are two gentlemen that speak to really large audiences, are very well respected in their realms of science, and I think we're really incredibly lucky to be sitting in this beautiful garden and hearing from both of them. So Dr. Kahan is a research meteorologist at the Scripps Institution of Oceanography at my alma mater, University of California, San Diego. His research aims to understand climate variability and changes over Western North America with an emphasis right here upon California. So specific interests concern impacts of climate change on water resources and other sectors. Kahan has been involved in an ongoing series of climate change assessments for the state of California, and Dan also co-leads the California-Nevada Applications Program at the NOAA RESA team. And their aim is to improve climate information and forecasts for decision makers both in California and in Nevada. So Dr. Kahan will be speaking right back there at the speaker's stage. If you see the purple tent, it's the white one right behind it. Dr. Kahan's in a blue hat making his way over there, and just like our other speakers, if you have questions about what he shares, he's going to hang out there at the speaker stage and answer those for you afterwards. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Dan Kahan.
Okay. Sarah Marie, thanks for the intro, and great to be here at this event. The last song, I think, was a prelude to some of these remarks. I don't want to be totally dismal in these remarks, but of course we do have to face some realities here. On one hand, we have just a wonderful climate in Ramona and Southern California in general. We're one of 5 regions globally that has this Mediterranean system that we all really enjoy, with relatively mild weather most of the time and fairly defined seasonal variation from summer to winter. But we are challenged. One of the things that, as Sarah was mentioning, that fascinates me with this area and the setting that we live in is not only this predictable element of wet to dry from winter to summer and cooler to warmer, but all of the variation that sits on top of that, which of course can provide some surprises. We, in this area, compared to the rest of the United States in sort of relative sense, we have as much variation in our annual precipitation as anywhere. So we really have an apex of fluctuation, as we all know, from one year to the other. And of course, the last few years have been really trying as far as the amount of dryness that ourselves and ecosystems and the rest of the landscape has endured. But as we move forward, of course, we're going to be challenged not only by this variability, but by a large amount of ongoing change that we all have heard about. And of course, it's happening now. Climate change is cascading, and it's because of us, humans, which have loaded the atmosphere with greenhouse gases, which are not transparent to the radiation that cools the planet, and consequently the planet is warming up. Even if we were to totally curtail human-caused greenhouse gas emissions today, we would still be warming because the Earth hasn't caught up to the amount of greenhouse gas that is blanketing us in the atmosphere. The ocean is still absorbing heat, it's still equilibrating, and it will do so for decades yet. So we are committed to ongoing climate change, no matter how well we address the problem that is before us. There are things we can do, and through the day you're going to hear more about that, of course, and you already heard some talks along those lines. There's of course reductions that we can all do in our personal lives as far as carbon and other greenhouse gas emissions. On average, every American loads the atmosphere with about 15 tons of carbon dioxide a year. And in California, we're a little better than the national average. We're something in the neighborhood of 9 to 10. But I think each one of us can look at our personal budget of carbon emissions and try to do better, which of course is important. It goes beyond our personal selves. I think what we need is a broader societal solution to all this. We need new technological solutions, and we need systems of governance and planning and organizations, which I know there's representatives here that have worked on the remote planning activity. All that comes into play in dealing with this problem. I'd like to give you a few things that I look at in terms of both the variation and the changes that we're starting to see that are impactful and will probably continue to be as we move ahead. One, of course, is the precipitation that we receive both annually and throughout the seasons. Climate projections are indicating that in Southern California and down into Mexico and throughout Mediterranean regions in general, that regions will dry. So we might anticipate as time goes forward that by mid-century, for example, we may lose 5 to 10% of our annual precipitation, which of course piles on top of a warmer climate and makes the water supply even more important and more dear. Not only is precipitation changing on average and over this long term, but climate models are indicating that precipitation will be maybe becoming more concentrated in the core winter months. So autumn and spring in climate model projections are tending to tail off in precipitation. That has a lot of impacts on both human and natural systems, and we'll talk about that in just a second here. But of course, the other thing that we can look at is the temperature itself. And over the last few decades, what we've noticed, not only in the western U.S. and in Southern California, but actually on a global landscape, that nighttime temperatures have warmed more than daytime temperatures. That has import because of its effect on human health, on the demand for cooling and electricity, and also on plants and animals, of course. So if you have a backyard thermometer like some of us have, you might be paying attention to those nighttime, especially summer temperatures, and especially interludes where the temperature gets really warm. one thing that research has uncovered recently is the advent of what we call a humid heat wave, so that we're not only seeing warm and relatively dry daytime temperatures, but night times have been elevated above the temperatures that we've recently seen. And they're also humid, which of course is harder to acclimate to. The other thing that in general we're looking at is just greater extremes. So longer heat waves, more intense heat waves, and more frequent heat waves are a very strong signature of the pattern that we've seen across the western part of North America and other parts of the globe. And that's something that, of course, that as climate change continues to develop, we'll probably see more of. So in our social systems, in our personal systems, we're going to have to learn how to adapt and contend with this greater and more intense episodes of heat. We also have noticed across the West, not only have these drought events that we've experienced been caused by the lack of precipitation, but also because the atmosphere itself has become thirstier. So the atmosphere being warmer and at least occasionally plagued with episodes such as Santa Ana winds and the like, there's been more water that's taken from the land surface that just satisfies that demand from the atmosphere. So that's another thing that, especially if you're a farmer or working lands of various sorts, that is crucially important. So finally, the other thing that I think that is really very central in our minds here in Southern California and Ramona in particular is the wildfire problem. And of course, we not only have, like the rest of California, a fairly prominent summer season where wildfire activity is really taken hold, but also we have this fall, autumn wildfire situation, which is driven by these dry winds, Santa Anas. There's a little competition amongst our weather events each year to see who wins between early rainfall and strong Santa Anas if the rainfalls are delayed. If we look at our historical record here in Southern California, more than 8 times the amount of area that is burned in autumn has occurred before that first rainfall event compared to the period thereafter on into early winter. And of course, recently we've seen some massive wildfires that have occurred late in the season, and we're concerned about the fact that climate may be trending in that direction towards drier extremes. So what can we all do here? Of course, there's an obvious connection to the way we use energy as far as the amount of greenhouse gases that are implanted in the atmosphere. That pollution is also, of course, reinforced by the use of many kinds of resources, such as water. And so conservation, which I think is a theme across the Earth Day celebration today, is really, really critically important, and it crosses a lot of boundaries. Education, of course, to contend with this problem is really huge. Getting government and leadership involved, which of course all of us have our civic duty as active participants in the democracy that we have a role to play there. So there's ways that we can deal with this, and I think in many ways the glass is half full as well as at least partly empty. So I'll close there, and I'm glad to take any questions and discussions either on stage here or personally. So back to the celebration.
Incredible amount of knowledge shared with us. Please take Dan up on his offer to answer questions. The man is a fountain of knowledge and just such a wonderful conversationalist. He tells some good jokes too. So go talk to Dan under the purple tent over there. Thank you so much, Dr. Kane.